Shannon Sharpe just exposed Skip Bayless for who he truly is. And I believe Skip should be fired as a result. But it has nothing to do with this controversial tweet that everyone seems to be freaking out about that Skip put out as a result of Damar Hamlin, the player on the Buffalo Bills who had the cardiac arrest on the field and is still in the hospital. I believe he should not be fired for this tweet, even though we have people like Kendrick Perkins saying you're a sick individual, real talk, in result of this tweet. Isaiah Thomas, former NBA basketball player, the newer one, not the older one from the Pistons, saying, I hope they fire you, bro. For you to even think of the game is very sad. Then a player on the New York Jets, Sauce Gardner, are you seriously talking about when the football game should be postponed? Damar Hamlin's health is all that matters at the moment, nothing else. And even Dez Bryant from Skip Bayless's favorite Dallas Cowboys, we need to cancel Skip Bayless ASAP. Now I'm going to show some different clips that put together and showcase why I believe Skip should be fired and how Shannon has helped expose that, but it has nothing to do with this tweet. Before we get into those clips, let's review this tweet really quickly, where Skip has caught a ton of heat for it. It says, no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? Mind you, this tweet came out in the middle of the game when Damar Hamlin fell and collapsed on the field. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude, it's crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. If you just use your eyes, athletes and commentators, and read this tweet, he's saying that this game has a big impact on the postseason and the results of the NFL season, but it also has become so irrelevant. But yet we had all these athletes get enraged, and we even had his buddy Shannon Sharpe not show up for the next day's episode of Undisputed. He protested apparently and didn't show up for the episode as a result of his dislike for this tweet. And the next day is when Shannon exposed Skip for who he truly is, in my opinion, and showed why he should be fired. Right here is the opening of the next day's Undisputed episode following this tweet. Shannon's about to give a monologue, and we'll see. Here we go.
Good to see you, Shannon. I understand you have something you want to share this morning.
Good morning, yes.
Morning.
There's been a lot of speculation of why I wasn't on air yesterday, and I won't get into speculation or conjecture or innuendo, but I will say this. In watching that game on Monday night, what happened to Damar Hamlin struck me a little different. As a brotherhood in the NFL, when injuries happen, when we know injuries are a part of the game, I've seen guys suffer ACLs and Achilles tear, but I've never seen anybody have to be revived and fight for their life on the field. So it struck me a little differently because I remember seeing my brother paralyzed on the field temporarily, and he was able to regain focus. Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down, but I didn't want it.
Well, time out. I'm not going to take it down because I stand by what I tweeted.
Skip, let me finish.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
No, you go.
Go ahead, let's go, Jen.
Okay.
I mean, I cannot even get through a monologue without you interrupting me.
Well,
you could have came back. Skip,
well, I thought,
Skip, just let.
I didn't know you were going to bring up
No,
this.
I was just going to say, Skip, I didn't want to yesterday to get into a situation where Damar Hamlin was the issue. We should have been talking about him and not get into your tweet. That's what I was going to do. But you can't even let me finish my opening monologue without you interrupting.
Okay. I was under the impression you weren't going to bring this up because nobody here had a problem with that tweet.
No. Clearly, the bosses wanted you to offer explanations, so clearly somebody.
No, they did not have. Nobody.
Let's go, Jen.
Thoughts and prayers remain with Damar Hamlin.
That's where the focus should have been, and not on the
continues.
football game. Yes, let's go, Jen. Thank you.
So the reason I say that it's exposed Skip Bayless for who he truly is one, he doesn't even let Shannon Sharpe finish his monologue where he's saying, hey, we need to move on from this tweet. But then Skip goes back on the truth that he had to apologize because the higher-ups in Fox wanted him to. Because Skip's first day back on the show, he was on there by himself because Shannon did not show up, as we can see right here. And Skip had to apologize on air and said that people in Fox wanted him to. But even right here, he's going back on that word against Shannon, saying, oh, no, the higher-ups didn't want me to. But he's also just so self-absorbed that he can't even let Shannon finish his statement. And Shannon's frustration where he says, okay, let's go ahead, Jen. It's a buildup of things that have been happening over time. So we're going to go back to this clip from a couple weeks ago where they get into a very heated argument over Tom Brady and Shannon saying that the NFL coaches actually study more film than Tom Brady does, and then just gets into a personal attack mode with Shannon and Skip. Here we go.
Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he is still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
Yeah, that's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Skip, I did what I did.
I never said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Skip, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Okay,
I got
so
3
what?
Super Bowls.
So what?
So what?
He's way better than you were.
I'm better than
way
you.
Better.
Skip, what I got to see what you do. You take personal shots.
No,
for
I don't take personal shots. You started it.
Time out. You would take a personal shot at me.
I didn't take a personal shot at you.
Wait a minute.
What are you talking about?
You would take a personal...
Put your glasses back on.
Can I finish? You're willing to take a personal shot at me to say this man is better than me because I say he's playing bad this year?
Well, because you just
Go ahead.
you disrespect him. It's just so. You know what? It's beneath your
you
dignity.
You would disrespect me to support him.
No, well, I'll support him over anybody because he's the greatest player who ever played your game, and it's by far.
Have at it.
Okay,
Take off, bro.
I'm going to have at it because I'm going to have at you because what.
So Skip doesn't even have any awareness to lay off Shannon, admit when he's a little crossed the line, because in my opinion, he's just so self-absorbed and he seems like a narcissist. Now, yes, Shannon seems to love the spotlight and to be loved by people and put attention on himself. But because of this clip and a clip I'm going to show you in a second, you can see that Skip just thinks he's the man and nobody can tell him no. And just because of this personality that he continually showcases, that's why I think he should be fired. Now, yes, it's good TV, as Easy Money Sniper, which is Kevin Durant, said right here. This is good TV, fellas. Keep it up, fellas. But just because it's good TV, I don't think it's a great work environment, which is about to be showcased in a second. And the reason for this blow up, according to Jason Whitlock, from what he's hearing, is not just because Skip is so narcissistic and self-absorbed, but it is because of that, but it's also a deeper reason.
History between these two guys, and part of what I think is going on here is Skip blames Shannon for their lack of rating success. That Stephen A. and what's going on in First Take and their ratings are growing has Skip on edge, and he's pointing a finger and he blames Shannon Sharpe. But I want to replay the clip we've already.
So their ratings are not doing as good, and maybe he's taking out on Shannon because he is so self-absorbed and thinks that he's the man, he's so great, that he's even willing to attack Shannon Sharpe and say that Tom Brady was better than you, so you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It just seemed to get out of line, and it seemed to be congruent with this other clip where Skip was just high and mighty, self-righteous, and frankly, a dick to the other host, Jenny Taft, when they were talking about the Dallas Cowboys coach, Mike McCarthy, who is overweight and heavy. Here we go.
If his motivational speech was the most inspiring, but criticizing his appearance, I don't know if I think that is a fair shot for Mike McCarthy. I'm going to leave it at that.
So Skip had just criticized Mark McCarthy being heavy and I wouldn't want to coach like that, blah, blah, blah. And this is the context.
If his motivational speech was the most inspiring, but criticizing his appearance, I don't know if I think that is a fair shot for Mike McCarthy. I'm going to leave it at that. Chris Broussard.
Thanks, Jenny. I appreciate that.
I don't think it is a fair shot.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a fair shot.
Is
either.
everyone
That's
who's
my
a
opinion.
good coach
Yeah.
as fit as you, Skip? I don't think that's a fair shot whatsoever.
I wouldn't want. I said it was a personal preference, and I
actually
wouldn't
had
want him
plenty
to
of
be my
coaches
head coach.
that have not had the perfect ideal physique, including my college coach. So I don't think that's a fair shot.
Okay.
And I'm allowed to have an opinion, Skip. I am allowed to say whatever I want to say on this show, as you do too. Chris Broussard will join us and he will react to Westbrook's comment, and maybe I have more to say next.
Yes.
She is pissed because Skip cut her off, but he's also very indignant and puts her down, saying, oh no. When Shannon says we're a team and he goes, no, because he's the man, he's got money, He's the main man on this show, and she's just a little side piece, being the host. And so he can say what the hell he wants. It just seems like a righteous, self-righteous, indignant douchebag answer by Skip. And I'm sure he's like this, and I'm sure it's not a great environment to be around him at work. And just because he's such a dick to people, especially to his own co-host with Shannon and the mediator, Jenny, who's now not there anymore, I think it just shows that he shouldn't be on the show. And a lot of people down here were saying that the way she reacted, it was obvious she already had brewing problems with Skip, which is probably true because he seems so full of himself. But I can't understand Skip being frustrated with Shannon for Shannon being so offended and irritated at Skip for this tweet, which doesn't even, it's not even a big deal. But with his other previous history of how he's treated people that I showed you, I think Shannon Sharpe might have really exposed to everyone who Skip Bayless really is and might have caused him to get fired. If you guys want to see more videos like this, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.
You would take a personal...
Put your glasses back on.